Are we going to do our own podcast now?
I think we should. Craig, what does be the ball mean?
Oh, in our parlance, that means live like the customer. Care about the customer. Be the customer.
Okay, where'd it come from?
You're not being the ball.
Where'd it come from?
Caddyshack, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with the customer?
Nothing. It just was a really cool scene where Danny was told by Chevy Chase to be the ball.
We said that we would never do something that as ourselves as a customer would hate.
Right.
So put yourself in the shoes of the customer, be the customer, or be the ball, which is the Caddyshack quote. And we love movie quotes.
We love movie quotes.
So we pull out movie quotes all the time when having random conversations with us, and no one knows what we're talking about because it's complete inside joke every time.
But okay, going back to your be the ball.
Yeah.
So remember when we started the company?
Yeah.
Business communications was terrible. We had like a Nokia desk phone on our desk at Google. It was terrible. One day I came back from lunch and the light was blinking. I had no idea what that meant. I assumed someone had called it and left a message, but I had no idea even how to get it. So when Brian and I were at Google talking about leaving, the whole idea was, let's go make something so much better. Let's bring consumer concepts to business. Make it delightful, easy to use, totally intuitive. You could onboard yourself. It's fun. You can work from anywhere. You can do all these things that old systems never let you do. And consumer, you got to be great for the end user, right? Even with a free product, and people won't use it. And how many did we have at Google? Google Voice
Users, 10 millions of users. Yeah.
So you got to be able.
They
to
all were able to onboard without our help.
Yeah, without a single
and to use
person.
it and figure it out without our help.
Right.
And that was like non-existent in the B2B world at the time.
And it's still pretty challenging with a lot of stuff. So we want to always, when we talk about be the ball, we always want to put yourself in the customer's shoes, make sure it makes sense, make the pricing simple to understand. We're not going to legitimately, we're not going to optimize for squeaking out every penny and every percentage of margin. We're just not. We're going to have very happy, loyal customers who aren't going to churn, and hopefully we're going to grow when we add new things.
And the best possible user experience.
Yeah.
Is all that matters.
That you're totally proud to use yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Every single corner. Like we used to talk about it as like the last 10%. Like what is the last 10% or the last 5% of a product? Like that's the difference between a good and a great product. And enterprise communication is a little more complicated. There's routing and time of day and multiple offices and all these different things that make things harder. But that last 5-10% is still such a differentiator.
Yeah. And there's still a way, is even though you have to have a lot of functionality, you have to have a lot of, things that are very sophisticated, you can still make it easy to use. And maybe it won't be as perfect as, a very simple iPhone feature, but you can get really close, right?
Right.
You can, and there wasn't anyone, it didn't feel like people have been trying. They've just been throwing features at things to throw features at things and say, I got this. Please send me your money.
Well, one of when we founded it, one of our co-founders was Alex Cornell, who's this incredible designer. And Alex was young, I don't know, mid-20s.
Yeah.
Super creative. And everything was just so polished and looked so great. And so from day one, design was a really big part of what we're all about. And again, just because things get complex or you have large customers doesn't mean it can't be designed awesomely. And so, so that's always been kind of a differentiator of caring about what the customer goes through.
When we started, and I remember when we interviewed people and I'd have kind of this pitch, is that we were seeing a lot of things out there, especially in the communication space, where you talk to them and you look at their apps, their sites, and it's like, do you even have a designer on this?
Right.
And you have how many employees? And I remember one of the focuses we had, especially you, was we need to design right away.
Right.
It wasn't something like, oh, we'll just go build it, figure it out. It's, it's B2B, it's business software. Right. Don't need that. We went and found one of the best designers there is and put him with us immediately. And we then kept hiring and have still to this day had a lot of design and user experience people working on things. And I remember talking to some people in other companies in the industries, especially like B2B SaaS.
Yeah.
And you ask like, oh, how many people do you have? And it's like, oh, we have 200 people, 400 people, whatever it is in R&D. How many designers? One,
Right,
two,
right.
two, and they're contractors.
Right.
It was never like, wait, but you say you care about user experience, and you end up like, but no one was really, but like they said that, but that was one of the things I just loved that you did and we did, like something that was just at the core from the beginning. Focus on user experience at the basis of everything, and we did it. We followed through on it, and I think it was just amazing to see where we've gotten to with putting a big focus on that.
Well, the other thing too is like we always thought about like would you want to use it? Would you love it? And then as you go more and more enterprise in these bigger IT shops, and they've used terrible things forever in the past, right? Like
Yeah.
if you're the head of IT of a Fortune 500 company, you've been on Avaya or Cisco or one of these preposterously complicated, hard to use like business phone system or a PBX or your contact center. And the problem we kind of run into a little bit is you go and you show them like this wholly new way of doing stuff, totally innovative, way better design. There's a lot of comfort with the old crappy stuff. Of like, do you do all these 700 obscure things that this thing does? And so we just got to change it. And this is why AI is so interesting, because it changes the whole narrative of like, okay, now they actually are thinking about the future, not like how do I replicate the past, but put it in the cloud.
Yeah.
Right. So now you have this real chance to super innovate and make people way better without having to worry about all the things that the way they were done in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So it's been a interesting road from SMB to mid-market to enterprise, and now having agentic and AI that are going to be widely adopted very, 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 very soon by everyone. Levels of playing field, and now you're just back to pure innovation and great design and great use, great engineering, just great value to the end user. And it's no longer this like, how do you do these legacy things? No one.
Yeah,
That becomes much
it's
less
funny
important.
that the AI has all of a sudden now it's like, oh, now we're willing to try these
Something
new
new.
amazing modern things.
Right.
And it's good for everyone. It's good for us because we've been doing AI since 2018. It's been a big focus of communications for us. But they totally it was I need the thousands and thousands of things that maybe 1%
Yeah.
at best
Used.
of the customers use. And now it's, oh wait, that doesn't matter as much anymore if you can automate
Right.
50% of my
Right.
of my customer service. Now it's like, oh, I don't need that. I don't
Yeah,
need
of
that
course.
that one special feature that existed on a desk phone 30 years ago.
But you think about it, like IT, particularly IT in big companies, like they were able to move slow. Like the bigger company would move the slowest, right? Like big banks or
Yeah.
big organizations. They always had the most conservative IT departments, right? Because they had a lot to lose. They couldn't really risk new stuff. And like legitimately, what is it now? 2025. There's still a ton of business communications that is on premise. Like half of contact centers are on premise. Like 40% of phone lines are on premise. Like legit. And I remember, and you might have been there when I had a conversation with this Fortune 20 CIO, and this was like literally last year. He's like,
Just last year.
and he was, but he
Just
just
last
was
year.
finishing his on-prem deployment.
This wasn't 10 years ago.
No, this
was
is
just
literally last year of the latest and greatest Cisco on-prem phone system. He's like, Craig, one of these days, people will start moving this stuff to the cloud. I'm like, dude,
No.
are you like it's shocking. So, but the fact is, like, IT had like the luxury to move slow because they were very risk averse. It's entirely backwards with AI.
Yeah.
The biggest companies are the ones that are moving the fastest because they have the most to gain and they have the most tech resources to be able to like try to understand it and put it in place.
Well, they also have the most to lose now.
Right.
I feel like I've seen that.
Both, right.
I've seen that now is they were less likely to move quickly because they had their moat.
Right.
and they didn't have to worry because they've got their monopoly or whatever it is. They have their area that's been doing so well for them. That's what got them big. And now the AI coming up and all these different companies and other startups, they're having the ability to compete with them because of that. And they're really realizing we have to get with it. Like we
Well,
have to adapt or die.
I'm talking about the business, not the service provider. You know,
Right.
like the CIO of a giant insurance company in
No, but even then, even
that
those,
that guy has to move fast.
yeah,
Because like one, your competition is going to move really fast,
Yeah.
and you're going to be at a competitive disadvantage. Secondly, all these boards of directors and CEOs are saying, "Hey, I want to use this AI to lower my costs and increase productivity and give customers a better experience. Have it be totally standard. They'll always get the right answer.
Yeah.
There'll be no wait times. They'll never run into someone with a bad attitude." And they're under the gun to do it. Whereas in the past, it was like,
Yeah.
whatever you do, don't screw this up.
There's
Like,
no
be
pressure.
risk averse.
There's just no pressure. Yeah.
Now there's tons of pressure. So
Yeah.
it's super interesting. So the way, yeah, it's funny because there have been these companies that did chatbots forever, even before AI, right? And so what they'd do is they'd be like, okay, I have all this information in my help center, but the questions that get asked the most are these top 20%. So let's take those questions, let's hard code how people would ask that question. So you'd have to like do a lot of coding to understand, are they asking this question? Then you would basically have the bot pull the article from your help center for that question and try to answer the question there. And a lot of times it would just be an article or a link to an article. And yeah, that was better than nothing, right? But it really wasn't great. So then generative AI, and you're the technologist, so you can correct my layman's phrase.
Yeah.
But the generative AI chatbot, then one, you didn't need to do that pre-programming. It could understand a question, and it could understand through the whole knowledge base, not just the most frequently asked ones, but the whole knowledge base, what's the right answer for it, right? And so then that was good. And not only what was the right answer, it didn't just serve you the article, it conversed with you and made it seem like you're having a conversation. It sounded
Yeah, it was better. It's better at extracting the question in a million different forms you might ask it versus you have to specifically ask it in this way and have some rule for that. And then it's amazing for taking a bunch of this knowledge and finding the answer in it.
Finding the right one.
Yeah.
Right.
And then giving it back to you in a way that doesn't sound like a bot.
Right.
Or is not a waste of your time.
Right.
Because it's not, completely incorrect or the wrong format or unreadable.
Which is still shocking.
Or a snippet. Sometimes it's just a snippet, and that's confusing too. If you just drop back here's a snippet of this paragraph from this documentation.
Yeah, click this
in the
link
middle of
and
nowhere.
read the whole thing.
Yeah.
No, it's shocking though. Today, again, September 2025. Like I was on one of my credit card providers' website, and I was talking to their chat bot. I'm like, hey, how do I remove or how do I add or remove an authorized user to my account? And it was the old version. It was like literally, here's the help center articles.
Yeah.
And then it would give me like 3 of the 4 were totally wrong articles.
Yeah.
They didn't even have the generative piece. But then, so that's basically the generative piece. It goes easier, better, it's smoother. You don't have to do all the programming. It uses the whole knowledge base. The agentic piece will now not only just give you the information, it'll be your agent and actually do things for you.
Yeah. And that's the agentic side of things now, finally.
Yeah. So
being able to
example,
actually do something.
Yeah.
Not
So
just
for
give you
me
an answer.
saying, hey, how do I add an authorized user on my credit card? It doesn't just tell me, go to this page, hit this link and do these things. It'll be like, oh, who would you like to add? And then it will just do it. Like that's the beauty of
Or before it would
generative.
say, to do it, you got to call into this number and wait an hour.
Oh, yeah.
And then talk to someone and then give all your information again.
Right.
And then maybe they'll give you an authorized user on your account.
Right.
After waiting all this time and giving you the same information again.
Right.
And now with all this stuff together, having that agent, the more advanced agent, virtual agent or AI agent, combined with still the human aspect on the other side, we can combine the two. We can keep what we call the customer journey intact, where you have that and everyone's experienced this. You go to that website, you ask it something, you tell it something, and then it says can't help you. Let me escalate this to someone, or even please call our customer support line. Here it is, and you call it, and what do they do? They're like, "What are you calling in for?"
Yeah.
I was like, "I was just on your website, and can you give me all the same information again? I just did that for 30 minutes frustratedly on your website with your bot until I found out it can't do anything."
Right.
And like now with the technology, we can finally transition that where they know exactly what was talked about. It hopefully can solve your problem without having to talk to an agent and be on hold for hours.
Right.
But even then, if you do need to get to a human, they have all the context they need.
Right.
They have all your information. They have you even maybe authenticated, so you don't have to do that again.
Right.
And it goes back to like what we went into communications because we thought it was broken and no one had really solved unified communications. And the same thing has sort of been true, we believe, for customer service, for sales, where it just feels broken and disjointed. And this is like the last piece of the puzzle where we can take this thing, and now the end goal is not to replace people. The end goal is to make a better customer experience.
Right.
And that I don't care if it's an amazing bot that gets me what I need fast, then why no one cares. And that's what the studies show. They just want their problem solved as fast as possible.
Right.
This enables that, right?
Right. Right. Versus calling in, waiting on hold, maybe getting the right answer, maybe not. You know what I mean? Like there's a wonderful opportunity to make sure that every interaction starts with the same information.
Yeah.
The same, like there's good, friendly interaction, feels very human. And then if it can't solve it for you, seamlessly hand it over to a human who can.
Yeah.
Versus going through a process where it may not be that. You call in, you're on hold for a couple minutes, you may or may not get the right answer. You may have a difficulty like communicating properly or them understanding what you're saying. So there's a whole lot that can be a whole lot better. But being able to, and like, by the way, like our whole mission on this is a big journey. This is a journey from going from, fully just training a bunch of human agents to answer all your questions to having a fully autonomous AI contact center that'll handle all your questions. And a lot of companies, for how complex their products are or what they do or what industries are in, are going to move along that journey at different speeds, right? Some will get there instantly. Like, I don't know, but let's say you're Google, you're not going to answer a support question.
You're super forward thinking
to answer. Yeah, but they're not like if my mom wanted to call in and ask how Gmail worked.
Yeah.
Google's not going to have a person answer that question. So one, that's going to be 100% agentic. But let's say, you're buying a car and it's very complex, or you want to talk to your doctor. Like there's a whole bunch of things where it's going to take a while along that journey. What we want to do is provide the platform that lets, no matter where you are on that journey, we're here to support you along the way. So that's kind of the cool thing of owning the whole communication stack, the whole contact center, voice, video, text, social, email, what have you, and then have real-time AI on top of that whole thing, and then have the agentic capability, and then be able to, hold your hand throughout your journey of how much you're going to adopt it.
So I have a question for you though.
Yeah.
What was the company you chatted with, or what kind of company was it?
Which one?
The one you said you want to add like an authenticated user?
Oh, it's a credit card company.
It was a credit card company.
Yeah.
Do they have a website where you can log in?
Yeah.
Do you think that was an intuitive website? Like, do you think?
No,
right?
No,
Like most of these,
but that was just bad design from day one.
Yeah, but I meant my point is one thing that's the other advantage that people are thinking about is it used to be about, oh, this is just helping customer service. It is, this agentic wave is actually going to help change anything you want.
Right.
It's not just going to be about customer service. It can be about anything agentic.
Right.
And by that, I mean, you wanted to take an action on your account. A lot of the new companies out there, they do have mobile apps. They do have websites, but they're usually very complicated. Maybe your mom wouldn't probably be able to figure it out.
Right.
But you know what they can figure out? They can ask the bot, hey, I just need to update my blah, blah, blah. Or I need to change my settings so I get notified about this.
Right.
A lot of those websites, I can't even figure out where to get to my notification settings, or eventually the same system that can provide regular customer support is going to be able to say, oh, you just want to change this.
Right.
Oh, great.
No
Done.
worries. Done.
It's done for you.
Done.
I just described what I wanted.
Yeah.
And now you won't even necessarily need these really complicated websites. And I think that is part of where the world's going is
That's right.
the interface is starting to become the bot.
Yeah.
And the natural language is your interface.
So basically, it'll go back to Google's original homepage of just a
Maybe.
search box.
Maybe.
Good.
And maybe I
be
think
great.
I think what's going to happen is, you go on Google and you search for something and then it comes up with some special result. It's like a formatted result.
Yeah.
Like where like, oh, you asked for the stock price or something,
yeah.
and it shows you the actual chart in line,
Right.
or the weather. The weather is
Right.
well, I think the future could be where you do something like that and you ask it a question and the response isn't plain text either.
Right.
It can be dynamic. It can be the response is a thing that lets you see, interact with it, whatever it might be.
Mhm.
And it could even be the future is the interface makes itself. And this is really bold.
Oh,
And this is years
interesting.
away.
Interesting. I love it.
But say you want to change a setting. What if it builds the interface to change the setting or show the checkboxes as you ask it? So I want to change my notification settings. Instead of it taking you even to a page that's maybe ugly or somewhere deep, it actually responds with the form.
Well, how about it just does it for you?
But I'm saying, say you, I just want to see my notification settings or something, or I want to be able to write something.
So bring it to you rather than take you to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like anyway, sorry, that's really big thinking.
Kind of nerdy, but
very nerdy.
Sounds cool. So there's a lot of pressure from boards and executives to adopt AI and make their companies more productive. Everyone wants to be more productive, as well they should be. Like they always want to be more productive. And moving to the cloud made you more productive. You can work from anywhere, work from home. Adopting AI should make you more productive. Everyone should be able to do more at a higher quality. There's a difference, though, between, hey, we really want this to happen and whether it actually provides benefit. And there's certain things that it's going to provide benefit no matter what. Help us write marketing copy. It's going to be better, and it's going to allow a whole lot more people in the company to be able to write good marketing copy. You got the right prompts, you have the right kind of framework messaging, and then it can really help you. But other things, like when it gets to agentic, we were just talking about this yesterday, is if there's an error rate in your agentic interaction, let's say it's like you used some.
It was 80%.
Yeah,
like, even 80% sounds good.
80%
in a transcription.
sounds good. Yeah, like 80%, we're going to, it's going to get this action right 80% of the time.
Yeah,
that sounds pretty good for an automated
marks right now.
bot, right? But let's say it's got 3 actions it has to take. It's not 80%. It's 80 times. It's 0.8 times 0.8 times 0.8. And so before you know it, you're down to very high error rates.
Yeah.
And you've built a system where it is making decisions for you and trying to solve problems when it's like only 60% accurate at this point.
Yeah, it compounds on itself.
Right.
And the chances of getting it right when you ask it multiple things in a row adds to the level of chances of it failing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's really risky for a company to then let something with that high of inaccuracy actually make decisions and do things.
Yeah, and have direct access to changing
power
things.
to change things.
Yeah. Right. It's not just asking, it's not just answering questions anymore.
Right. So I think that's where kind of like there's a little disconnect between what people say they want and what they understand is available. Because the ability to make some real big mistakes could be bad. And by the way, if you don't have the ability for somehow or another a human to instantly be added to that, this kind of dead end or error state, man, like that's going to be a lot of frustrated users. And by the way, customers or companies are going to be like, wait, I thought this was supposed to save me money. Now my churn's up, my CSAT's lower, everyone's upset. Let's go back to humans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So being, and this is why like part of our Dialpad solution is, luckily we acquired this real-time AI company in 2018. So we have all these PhDs. They've built all these small language models based on business conversations specifically, way more accurate than just an off-the-shelf LLM, no matter how big or smart it is. And that shrinks that inaccuracy, which shrinks the compounding inaccuracies. It gives you a chance to be way more accurate. So when we think of our competitors and the folks who don't have that internal capability and are just going to layer in some outside third party, it's fraught with risk,
and
it's higher cost, and it's slower, and it's not as secure. So there's a whole lot of other reasons why there's some challenges.
Well, back to like what we're saying about what you're saying is the AI boom happened. And it's amazing, and large language models and ChatGPT are amazing. But then people just decide to start throwing it at things,
Right.
and that's when it gets in trouble. Is if you just think, oh, I can just turn this thing on, and it's just going to work, and it's going to add value, and we're realizing that's why we went full AI embedded in everything. Is it can't just be here's your normal thing, and then let's put some AI on top of it and have it analyze it or do something on top of it. Every single piece of it needs to know what it can do, what it can't do.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it uses AI, then doesn't use AI, then it uses AI again.
Yeah.
It needs to be one thing. And I will tell this one story quickly, but I was talking to someone who he's in charge of sort of AI transformation at his company. And this is like a big traditional company. I'm not going to name it, but he saw me at a conference. He's like, you seem to know a lot about AI. Let me ask you, I have these issues in your CTO. And I said, okay, yeah, I'll meet with you and talk to you about it. He's like, we're struggling. We created this team that's like an AI team that's separate from everything else. And it just goes, and we try to build things, but we have a hard problem because it's constantly butting up against the traditional.
Right.
And it's like, that's not going to work. You have to, no matter what you do, whether you're building the product or it's our product or the way you operate with AI, you have to be all in. You need to take those people and not just put them in a silo, embed them all across the team, have your CEO buy into it, say it's important, and make sure everyone's goals are the same thing and that they're working together. And that is a struggle, though, that a lot of companies are having, is they just quickly reacted with, let me add this little tool.
Right.
But they really do have to change the whole way. It's kind of like you can't just add AI to your existing traditional communication system. It needs to be something that is working together with it. Mm-hmm. And that's part of, we talked about our agentic, and a lot of what will make it different is we have the bots and the humans. And we're going to have the bots try to automate as much as it can and make it better for the customers. But then the humans are still going to be needed because you're always going to need them. I don't believe that bots are going to be 100% of conversations. A lot of them, but not all of them. But eventually those humans can train the bots can train the humans and make each other smarter. But that's all because it's integrated.
Right.
If you just had a bot system on the side, you have that issue where it doesn't know anything about what the human conversations are having.
Right.
It can't know that this is the best answer. And then it becomes a lot more work. It's not built into the fabric of that system.
Yeah. And it is funny because everyone says, like I talk to a bunch of CEOs all the time. Everyone's trying to adopt AI throughout their organizations, like not just in
I hear it's trendy
support and stuff. Yeah, they seem to like it. Yeah. They seem to want it. I saw a quote by the CEO of Databricks, I think it was yesterday, and it was talking about this is an innovative company, right? It's a ridiculously successful, great killer company. Yeah. And he was complaining that no matter how hard they try, getting their entrenched employees to adopt AI, it's like pulling teeth. They've done it a certain way for a long time. They want to keep doing it a certain way for a long time. They'll say they're using AI, they'll try and they'll dabble and they'll do a couple things, but they're not embodying it.
And that's a super modern company.
And this is a killer private company that's absolutely killing it, and everyone's waiting for them to go public.
In tech,
in the Bay Area.
This is not a traditional.
Came out of UC Berkeley. Go Bears.
Yeah.
So if that's happening at Databricks, can you imagine what's happening at everything else that's not that innovative? Yeah. Like it's got to be shocking.
It's not simple.
All right, PD. Great chatting with you.
Yeah, good chatting with you.
You know what today is?
Fun. What's today?
NFL season starts.
Oh, that's right.
Pick your picks in 10
Finally.
minutes.
Yes.
All right.
Gotta get home for it.
See you next week.